Are you gonna post what's going?
What? Oh no, just like do like a little promotional thing, like saying like, "Hey, we're live," kind of thing.
Okay, I copied the whole BCG shtick.
All right. I guess we can switch over now.
I think you already switched this over.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the thing went off.
It happened like a moment ago, like right before I posted. I
I
had
know. I guess that makes sense because I turned the like yeah. Did the castle show up and all that stuff? Sorry, we're testing some for the just so that everyone, like anyone watching the streams aware, we're testing, like BCG's not here, and so like we're doing this ourselves this time. So it's just me and Stackerson today. So I didn't know if the whole little castle intro went off.
I don't know if it did. I remember seeing the other thing, but yeah. Okay.
I'll just go ahead and
Get started.
yeah. So like I said, like I just said, BCG's not here. Can you hear yourself? Like I imagine you're already looking at the stream. Can you hear yourself just fine?
Test. Yep.
All right, cool beans. Um, so to like live stream, I guess is the main topic of the day. Or we can start off with the pumpkin party. What do you want?
I mean, that was
feel
part
like?
of the pumpkin part. I mean,
Did
it's
you
cool that they're able to get together and do an event. Is there much that needs to be said?
Not really. They just had like like I said, the pumpkin party. They did it in Discord this time instead of just doing like I don't know if they did in the previous years where like they got it in Discord, but like Toast and I always forget the new guy's name. Yeah, it starts with a V. I just can't remember. I can't remember it. And I can't look at it right now.
I have it in a second, or I won't because they're not there. Where are they? I guess they're offline, so they're not showing up in Intrepid Studio. I'm getting this.
But the new moderator that
Vacnar.
Vacnar, that doesn't yeah. So Toast and Vacnar hosted one in the Discord, and then they had another one in the office. They showed the office one. Office one looked pretty cool. But they had one in the Discord this time, and it was pretty. And I thought it was pretty cool. It went well. I don't know if you went. I don't know if you were there for that one.
I wasn't.
Well,
that's cool that they did in Discord with everyone.
Yeah, because I think that went well. It was definitely the most community interaction I think we've had in a while. Granted, I've seen them host. I think like this last one, they hosted a stream watch party. So I don't know if they've been doing that lately. Like I just noticed it this stream. But community interaction, I think great that they're having that.
Yeah, I know. They're doing really good with the community, it seems. Which I think is becoming increasingly important with games, especially like a live service game where you want to be interacting with your players. I mean, right now we're like potential players, but yeah, interacting with us early on and keeping us engaged.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely showing, I think. And then well, past that, it's the live stream. Is the big topic to talk about, with the actual topics to talk about.
Okay. Switch over to that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So they did they did the update. They did the usual studio update, like saying what's new with the studio. They showed the pumpkin party. They showed the pictures of the pumpkin party. Talked pumpkin party for a good little bit at the beginning. There was a lot of cool stuff shown. So you had the 3D renders. You had the furniture stuff being shown. I had the live stream going off on like I like the little thing down on the side so people can see it as well. But yeah, they showed off. They just showed off a bunch of stuff. What do you like anything about it? Anything point out to you?
I don't know if anything in particular pointed was cool or like got me really happy, but I did like the amount we saw. We saw what, like 3 cosmetics plus like amount. We saw a lot of stuff, so it really feels like production's ramping up and they're getting more and more work done, which is really good to see.
We saw.
I guess it was also cool to see the mount, which might be fun to talk about, the dead doggy.
All right, so this the deck doggy was that a previous cosmetic? We
No,
saw
that's
the
in game,
yeah. So
and
that's okay. I was doing other stuff at the time, so I never I we
yep,
yeah.
they were kind of, and that's what they were showcasing it as, is like that is an in-game. It sounded like in-game cosmetic, which maybe I'm going out on a limb, but it sounds like that's a actual mount cosmetic you can achieve in game, different than just like the animal husbandry system. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it kind of sounded like to me. Like that would be something you would get for doing like the first big narrative raid thing, maybe. I'm speaking out my ass, so don't
I'm
go by my words.
trying to find it. Um,
I mean, you can cheat and go in PI.
no. I'm trying to find it in the video so people can actually like what we're talking about on the thing. I could cheat and go to PIs, like, uh, there it is. It's on the screen. It's on the stream now. Yeah, the dog we saw. We saw quite a few actually 3D renders, and like one I think we both kind of like talked about quite a bit previously is like the blue chocobo thing, the bird thing.
They changed it.
They did change it. Like it's not like the pole isn't going through the beak anymore. It's
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, they changed it because it used to have like the beak pole, or it looked like the beak was like designed that way, and now it's just like a normal beak with like an axe on front of it. Yeah, it looks good. I don't think I bought it, so I might kind of regret it. But I also have so many. That just one thing matters. But yeah, it looks really good. All of them look really pretty.
saw the yeah we saw quite a few 3D renders this time around.
Yeah,
Uh,
the bark armor, that was really cool to see. That's one that I really liked the look of and was excited for. So it's cool that we saw it so soon after they allowed us to buy it. The it was interesting. The what is the like rune knight armor? I'm just gonna call it that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, the one that has the neck thing that goes
Yeah,
like it seems very top heavy. Like the 3D renders seem very top heavy.
I can see that. I mean, that's kind of how it was. To me, I think it turned out better than
I'm
the
just gonna let that
concepts.
play.
I kind of like it more. But yeah,
I'm
there's
not
kind of like a lot going around with that neck head area, and then not that much going around with like the waist and the boots and stuff. So
yeah. I'm not like I don't know if it's the lighting or like I know they're probably gonna go through like 100 more passes on it. I'm not crazy about the color.
so that is Margaret said that's not the color for the cosmec we bought. Um, so it sounded like this might be an alternate color for stuff they have in the world, or they're still doing another pass.
Yeah, because like
So,
all
but
the
she said that this isn't the color for the one we bought in June.
I wasn't crazy about the set the first time, and it seems like top heavy and the colors off. I think the neck thing is what throws a lot of people off on the set. But it still looks good. It's just not my style. If it had like a pauldron or like where the fuck the armor ponytail things are, you know what I'm talking about?
Armor pony, like the thing that goes behind the head.
Yeah, behind the head.
I don't know what that's called, but
It starts with a P,
yeah,
and I used to know it. I just don't. I can't remember on top of my head right
kind of like
now.
the Gray Knight psychic hood thing.
Yeah, if it had one of those, I think I would like this set more. There it is on the screen right now. Um, They showed off the weapons that it comes with too, and like like you're not like I imagine that still like NPCs are gonna get that stuff, but like you showed 3D renders of the weapons, and it's already been said that like the weapons that come with the like you see in the concept art aren't part of the thing you're buying. Like, that was
Yeah.
said in the past. So, like I don't know, like showing it off together, like I'm confused a little bit because you make it seem like we are getting the weapons, but
I mean, they usually clearly state that you're not getting the weapon.
yeah, they do. But like, I don't know, just the
I
how
think it
you.
also. I mean, I believe it. I feel like it does help, like, allow you to like match it up to the concept because they're also like mimicking the poses. I'm pretty sure.
This is true.
Yeah, I already said the bark armor. I'm still waiting for my freaking mushroom Ronin.
Oh yeah,
I'm actually really excited to see how that turns out. The Jon Snow armor
we did see
looks
that.
pretty good. Yeah, it's a solid set of armor. I feel like not much else can be said.
A lot of 3D renders. They showed a bunch of furniture and that stuff. We saw the banners too, like the banners and all the symbols that come with them.
Yes, that was something I wasn't quite sure what it was really cool to see, but I wasn't paying as much attention during it, so I'm not sure if there was more being talked about. Like, are these just optional banners they'll show us? I mean, we'll see.
They list off all the races for them. Like, so I'm
It's cool that the Rinkai has like those dragon icons. I'm liking that.
you definitely like the more and more they show Renkai, the more and more like you get like earlier Renkai stuff, like before the Japanese thing, like they had like kind of like I don't know. They're getting more and more into the whole like Asian theme for the Renkai. They're diving more and more into that. Whereas some of the cosmetics before you were like asking questions like, I thought they were Asian themed. Well, like what is up with this set?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of. I think some of those a few of those older sets kind of seemed, or at least one of them felt very like Mordor orky to me.
Yeah.
And then like the other cosmetics with it kind of seemed very like Viking-esque. But yeah, recently they've seemed to be leaning very heavily into that Asian theme.
So the
Oh, they showed a bear.
Oathbreaker bear. Yeah. That was the first bear I had problems with.
Oh, why did you not like the? Oh, was this because of the armor situation?
This is because of the armor situation. It's just a bear and it's just a bear in armor. Well, there's nothing different from like this is my thing with like all the bears and like when we have horses too and like when it's this unique horse it makes sense. But for the bears that they've been selling, it's just like what makes this any different from a bear that I just put armor? Like it's just a bear in barding. So there's no I don't know.
Yeah, I can kind of get it. Well, like also some of the cosmetics concept arts made the bears look different, which I understand why they're not. Like it'd be, but like I mean, I think we brought up the brew bear definitely look a lot more grizzly-esque than the other bear, but they're kind of just the same bear.
Scroll into the video. They showed gameplay footage. Like you had like they had gameplay footage in throughout the thing, and that took up not long of the video.
Yeah,
Then
it's kind of just showing off the variants of like the Dawnbreaker. Is that what it's called?
the what am I? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it the
The
mount?
not the mount.
Animal husbandry?
No, the seasonal thing where they showed the turtle and they're going through all the
Oh
seasons.
yeah. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That sounded really cool. It was kind of something I was hoping they would implement, kind of, especially with like the different. I mean, we've talked a lot about some of those cosmetics that have like kind of a environmental theme to them. And if they're able to use that tech to kind of adapt the theme to the environment they're in, uh, that'd be pretty cool.
I
Or at least give
know.
the player the option to. I guess I don't know how they want to handle it because I could see some people getting mad that I wanted a swamp hut and now I put this in a freaking frosty biome and I have a freaking frosty hut.
So yeah, we have talked about this. We talked about this a lot with like the both the with both the mounts and the freeholds of you're showing off and selling this thing. If it does change in the seasons, you didn't really say that it did that, and like it changes the look. For some of these, it would change the look dramatically. It didn't really like. It was. I do believe it was just show. They were just showing it off with the turtle. I don't know if the turtle will actually do that. I could. When the turtle came out, I said you could sell variants of this where like during springtime it's like you have like a sakura turtle or like variants in game like a variant of the swamp turtle in game where it's a sakura turtle or like some other tree themed turtle.
Well, I want to add. So they did say that's in game.
Yeah.
So I assume they're not going to revert that. So that turtle is not doing that. But they're also said that that is just to demo the tech that they've built for all the other that they can use all over the place. So it can be you will have Sakura Turtle.
Sakura turtle. Um,
I don't know why I opened my mic for that. But yeah. So I guess I don't know what more to say about that. I felt like there was more to talk about, but yeah. But we've kind of talked about that.
it's extremely cool tech. We've been talking about it for like a long time now about changing changing of the seasons a lot. Like changing of the seasons. Number one, there's a lot to talk. There's a lot to speculate. There's like theory craft speculate. There's tons of stuff to speculate about changing of the seasons and how that'll work, how that affect like what they've explained about like affecting um trade routes, the economy, affecting how spells will interact with each other. Like there's tons of speculation to be had about the changing of the seasons, and then also knowing that they have the tech to make it affect your like mounts and freeholds and stuff like that.
Make it be visible
Make it be visible in the world.
or visual.
Visual,
I guess I don't know if there's a
yeah.
difference, but yeah.
Like make it more impactful, and you can feel like the change of the seasons are happening. I There's an argument to be had here, and I'm not arguing on this side, but I think I've already brought it up earlier. But for for cosmetics that you've already bought, changing that stuff to be I don't want to say drastically different, but a little different than what was bought. There's an argument there to be had, but I'm not 100% in support of the argument, so I'm not like I don't know if I'm the right person to be arguing that stance either.
Sorry, what exactly do you mean by the argument? What's the argument?
So like the swamp house not being a swamp house anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's I could see it. I mean there's that argument of like the whole immersion thing where some people are like, I don't want to be running through a like a frozen tundra and then see like moist, humid swamp house. Um, and then there's also the side where like they bought a swamp house. Um, I feel like it's I don't know.
But
They can make it a toggle. They could also make it something where it's. I think I feel like the way I would want to go is if they plan on uh you making it so that they use that tech on things like the swamp house. Um, just put it there and see how people react to it. And if people are cool with it, roll with it. Because I feel like you can also make it a toggle in the future, but I don't know if you'll have to. I think people would be most people would be fine with and be happy to see that their
They got a little bit more than
structures.
they got a little bit more than what they bought.
I mean, I think
Oh, it's playing
I'd
on
want
screen right now.
my stuff changing with the environments. I think that yeah, I think that'd be cool. I'd prefer that over it just being static. Because like if it's static, then I'd feel like I'd kind of want to match my biome is something I'd factor in when styling my freehold. And if I don't have to worry about that, that's to me more creative freedom.
One thing I did see in chat is that like people, oh, you know what? I am streaming Baldur's Gate 3 when we are actually on Ashes of Creation.
We had a few people coming like, "What the fuck is this?
Um,
This ain't no Baldur's Gate."
I don't remember when I was streaming. It must have been when it released, but uh, I had a thought there. Though, yeah, there's people that are like, and you see this all the time when we see like 3D renders of stuff. Is like, but like when the turtle was being shown, and you had the changing of the season thing happen on the turtle. Tons of things that were happening in chat where people just complain, like not complaining, disappointed that they didn't buy in on the turtle. Like you see this all the time when we see 3D renders. People are sad that they didn't like the cosmetics are a one-time buy thing, and they didn't get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where there's always seems to be just cooler things in the future. And as time goes, there'll be more things, and there'll also be cool things in game. Like, I guess I'm not sure what the statement here is, but it's like, yeah, you're gonna have people who be sad, but they'll find something they like. I mean, you can only really use one mount skin, so
People like will be riding a mount. Like I have the mounts that I'm gonna be riding on already kind of picked out. I love the I love the crap out of that Thunderbird. And I bought that instantly up. So that's my gliding mount already situated.
yeah. I mean, I guess I'll switch through things, but
I actually don't know. I don't remember how stream management. I was like, I don't remember how to switch the thing I'm streaming.
yeah, you might have to restart the stream.
No, there's a way to change it in edit stream info. There we go. Uh Master creation. There we go.
Did we get another sad Baldur's Gate person that's being disappointed that we're talking about Ashes? I
Now.
assume we're the two people who are watching, and then I see we go up to three every now and then. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this poor person.
I think over in BCG's channel we usually have like his normal crowd, and we usually have I don't know.
Some of like the
We
people who
have
are starved for Ashes content.
yeah. But I forgot to change the thing to Ashes Creation, so now it should be good. We should be good now. Um,
I'm still seeing Baldur's Gate.
no, the title's still Baldur's Gate, but the category should be changed to. But yeah, we
No channels are live in Ashes, and I'm still seeing Baldur's Gate under your name.
there we go. I just changed it to discussion round. Just now.
We are good. We are flipped over. We are the sole channel streaming Ashes of Creation content. Still under the title of Boulder Gates 30 Season 0. But yeah.
Apparently, yeah. It just takes a second. I just changed it over. I just flipped it over to discussion round. You got any other topic you want to talk about?
Not when it comes to the live stream, not really. I think we kind of covered it. I mean, to me, like the big thing about the live stream was it was cool to see how much has gotten done. It really seems like they're getting more stuff done. The inclusion of the in-game mount cosmetic, that was cool to see.
I was gonna mention this, and I just remembered it looking over at the stream. It's Halloween, and we didn't dress up.
Gosh, I was going to do that. Here, I'll do it really quick.
Be a second. He's getting prepared, dressed up. We are unprofessional as. BCG is gonna be so mad when he comes back because he wants to post this on his channel after this. Like it's gonna get posted up on BCG's channel like normal. You are wearing armor.
I'm dressed up now.
You a Roman centurion?
I have no clue what this is. I got these leather van braces from like a Renaissance fair, and then my mom bought me this chest piece from Amazon, and I'm
So
like,
it's just leather armor. You're armored up.
yeah,
You're
armored up.
armored up Stackerson.
I'm ready to go to a Renaissance fair or something. That's like the whole idea. The whole reason I wanted this stuff was just something to wear while I'm at Ren fairs or pirate fests.
I have a costume. It just takes some time to get into, and I was getting the stream set up for this, so I didn't do it, and it would be I still have some time before the party, so I'm not it would be me getting in it and then me getting out of it just for the stream.
What kind of costume? What would it have been?
Headless Horseman.
Oh, that's cool. So that's why it takes so much time to get into?
Yeah. Plus you wouldn't. I would be fancily dressed for the stream. You wouldn't get the whole headless theme. But yeah, the BCG's gonna be so mad about this stream. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. He's probably watching. He's probably the third person just popping in and out. He's like, this is fucking boring. What are they doing?
We're disappointments to the BCG. Okay. So yeah, I guess should we do the normal thing? What we liked about the live stream? I was kind of doing that, or I was just, yes, as I've said several times to repeat myself, happy that we've seen so much stuff. Really good to see. Also, cool in-game cosmetic mount. Looks good. Happy to see that they can show that off, because I think that's the first in-game cosmetic mount we've seen. Also,
No, the
Pixel.
lizard. You love the crap out of that hammer.
Right, but oh well, I think there's a difference because I think that one lizard is something you breed. I'm pretty sure this doggo is actually a cosmetic. Like you can get so that there's one's an actual mount, the other's the cosmetic.
Gotcha. So this is like something you earn. Like you can earn this cosmetic in game, whereas the other one you breed, you can capture and breed it through the animal husbandry.
Correct. But I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. And you, what did you like about the live stream?
It followed a very similar format. Development updates, some in-game video, and I 100% think the thing that stole the show was the seasonal thing. I really enjoyed seeing the seasonal thing, hearing about the seasonal things, seeing how they're already like implementing stuff like that, and how they were talking about seeing that in game
I agree. It was one of those things I was really excited to talk about on this when I was seeing it, and then I totally forgot about it.
And we
Yeah.
had like you feel like we had more to talk about it, but it's like honestly, um,
Well, I mean, we could talk a little bit more about it. It's like because the big thing is they're like we just applied it on this mount just to show like kind of a proof of concept. They can apply this to a whole bunch of other things. We've talked about it being applied to. We've kind of maybe assumed that it would be applied to like freehold, um, hold like at least some of the freehold cosmetics. Um, but I mean, it could also be applied to gear. I'd assume if it's on a mount.
if it was applied to gear like how we see it applied on the mount, I would want that to be fairly like high level gear. Uh, because it's fairly effect heavy, and plus like we've already been told the Phoenix aura is gonna be the only aura in the game. You have technically two auras. You have the Phoenix aura that you get for being a $5,000 backer and up, and then you get the intrepid employee, kind of like moderators and any intrepid staff get like a, I think it's like a purple themed. It's the same one as the Phoenix Initiative one, but it's different color. And I believe they said it's purple themed. Um,
Pumpkins were really cool.
the pumpkins were really cool. There was a bunch of people that did a bunch of different pumpkins. Um, and if you look up pumpkin art, like people that do actual pumpkin art, it's extremely like there's a lot of detail you can do to it, and like a lot of cool and creative things people do with it. Some of the you see some of it here and at the competition stuff. But we're here for Ash's creation, not pumpkin talk.
I mean, they're Ash's pumpkins.
They are Ash's pumpkins. Um, we were talking about the main like the we could talk about the next topic to talk about would be like just theory crafting about the seasonal thing.
Okay. Yeah. So let's theorycraft away. I feel like there's not. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? What do you want to see it applied to?
I want like so I've always talked about this is that like I think that having more damage types is extremely it's more difficult to balance, but I think it also adds more to the game, and it also makes it harder for there to be a more solid meta. So, like you don't see like if you have the 3 damage types for melee, you have slashing, you have piercing, you have
Bludgeoning.
yeah, bludgeoning. I think that adds a lot more in terms of melee side of things. Then you have like different elemental types, and they've already talked about like that, like the elemental types inside when they originally talked about seasonal stuff back during the Kickstarter when we first saw like a snow biome when they were talking about like how the game will have seasons. And then in some games like Monster Hunters, you have where a cold by I do want to see a thing like you would see inside a survival game or you would see inside a game like Monster Hunters where if I'm in a cold area, I want to be wearing cold
Cold
protective
gear.
cold gear. I think it diversifies the gear a whole hell of a lot. To where you need to have multiple sets instead of I've crafted my armor and now I'm done. I've crafted the best armor for this
Patch.
patch. Yeah, patch. Granted, like even with that, the way they've explained crafting is you're still gonna have to go back and get it repaired and like all kinds of stuff. Like you're always gonna be needing a crafter. I just feel like if you had the add-on of both weather and different damage types as well, so like say this armor protects me more heavily against fire damage. Like fire damage is the meta. but you wear fire damage gear, fire resistance gear, then you go up against an ice mage, in PvP ranking. It's like PvP arenas. I think that I seriously think that just diversifies the meta a hell of a lot. But I also understand that that's a whole hell of a lot more to balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's tricky for a few things. Where was I gonna go with it? I guess when it comes to the weather stuff, would you want it to be something similar to like Valheim, where if I remember right, you only need like one piece of gear that is like set to resist the effects of the environment, or do you want to like you have to build your whole set to counter the environment's effects?
So in Valheim, the as the seasons went, like inside the in the desert area, I think you 100% had to have like the desert protective, like the desert protective stuff. And like when you went into the snow area, you only need like one piece of snow gear, I
You need like
think.
the cloak, I think.
Yeah, you only need like one bit of snow gear. But as the game progressed and you got further and further into winter, you needed more and more like cold protecting gear. I totally would want full sets of. Well, it would depend on the time of year and like the area you're going to. So like if you're going into a full on, this is like the northern winter wonderland area. We seen it in the map. It's like the eastern side of the map. Yeah, the eastern side of the map has that ice area, ice biome kind of place. Like if it's winter time in the ice biome place, I definitely think you should be wearing full ice gear. And I really like the idea of this is your home turf, and so like you're already wearing the ice protective gear, but like the people that are going to war with you, like either aren't prepared for this environment. Like you see it in like real life historical wars where armies didn't prepare for like the seasons, and so they were decimated.
Yeah, like they attack Russia.
Yeah, they attacked Russia, and
Unless they were Mongolians. The Mongolians didn't really give a crap about Russian winners.
but yeah, 100%. Like just traversing through the terrain when you're not prepared for it, and getting and seeing the impact of that. I think that's great in terms of that. And like if someone does prepare, I think that's just a bonus to that. I really like the idea of this, but I also like I said, I 100% understand why you don't see it more in games. It's just I can understand that it's a pain in the ass to balance that stuff. It
Yeah, I think if I would want to see it like that, I would want to see it kind of like the Valheim Winter Cape situation. And it doesn't have to be just like one item, but like if you're going into winter, like I guess having people replace their whole set, I feel like that can be a little much. But having it where like you want to have for winter, you want to have probably a good cloak and then maybe good like gloves or boots or something like that, like a few other pieces that make sense that would help you in that environment.
well, all right. So I can understand wearing a cloak, like wearing a cloak over your arm, but then you're still wearing like heavy armor and in like metal armor in a snowy area. I prefer having to replace your entire set because like if you're having like it just makes it to where you you're not just wearing one set all the time. You're like with the meta thing of having the fire elemental and like the different elemental types and the different damage types. You're having a set for each of those, but like also if you have the added thing of the environment thing or like optional, oh like if you don't have the different damage types but you have the different environmental types, then having um to where you need those other sets. Like you have those, you can get those other sets made and traverse to those areas, and like you're in armor that makes sense for that area for one. Number two, it just diversifies your armor set, and so you're not just sticking with one set all the time. And it also gives you more stuff to work towards as well, like keeping up with your. Oh, I'm going towards. I think that's one thing that like I really liked about playing the Witcher games inside like a harder difficulty, and why I like the Monster Hunter games so much is like preparing sets to go after the thing you're at. Like, so like if I'm going for a raid that's in the ice area, it's more than just making sure you have all your pots ready, like all your buffs ready and like all that stuff. You're getting an entire equipment set ready just for this raid. And I think that's a really cool idea that you don't see in MMOs. Like you see it in survival games, you see it in other smaller games. Not smaller. I mean, you see in other types of games like Monster Hunter. It's really a survival game concept.
I mean, I'd say Monster Hunter almost did it first. But I don't know, actually.
I
No, I'm
def
just guessing that Monster Hunter's been around longer than
no,
the surge of survival.
I think you're 100% right. I think well, Monster Hunter's been around for like a long time, especially
Yeah.
way longer than the West has known about it. It's from what I remember, it's extremely popular in the
No,
where they have like monster camps and stuff like that. But you think you're 100% right. Where Monster Hunter probably did it first.
I guess I am. So yeah, one thing I don't really like about games, it'd be nice if we to some degree could break, is the whole just next patch just ups the numbers. It'd be nice if there was a little bit more than just making all my old gear obsolete and making me just farm for just higher numbers of gear. I feel
I
like going that route of having it be more about like resistances and even damage types to counter whatever you're fighting would be an interesting route to take for that.
100%, 100%. Like it doesn't match any of my predictions for any of the like you could do it still, but like I don't like my predictions for AOC expansions. I'm already predicting that in the game that I'm out yet. But 100%. I'm with you on that. Like I don't when an expansion comes out, and you see this in Guild Wars 2, but Guild Wars 2 is considered like a very casual friendly game. To where like they don't just up the numbers.
Well, I don't think they have upped the number. Well, when was
No,
the last time they've even upped the numbers?
they don't up the number. Guild Wars 2 does not up the numbers.
Which,
They like level 80 is the max inside the game, and then you have prestige like levels after that, but that doesn't like increase your that's not like a level. That's just saying like, hey, I've unlocked all this stuff, and like
gives you like more luck or stuff like that to help you out in other aspects of the game.
that too. Yeah, it does that stuff too. But like you're not like it doesn't like an expansion for Guild Wars 2, and like I'm 100% with you. I don't want to see this for Astral Creation. I'm tired of seeing this in games to where like the next expansion I have to farm a brand new set of gear. Like you have to do that in Guild Wars 2 too, because like I think every expansion adds a new gear type.
Yeah, they add new stat combinations.
Yeah, stat
For
combinations.
example, like Berserker has always. I guess I don't. When I came in, Berserker was always there. So I don't
Berserker
know
is
if it was.
always there. Yeah,
Berserker has always been a good damage type, especially for the classes I like to play. So
Assassin, Viper. Yeah, most of that stuff's always been there and been good.
so it's like I've never really. Maybe some of those damage types are appealing because like it'd be cooler to make like maybe a Zerker, but like if it also had healing. So it was what crit damage power and maybe healing power for like a Reaper. So I guess I don't know how that synergize. I don't remember all the Reapers
But you're
healing.
just saying an example. You're just giving an example.
But yeah, an example of something that is like very focused on damage, but also has like scales up its healing power a little bit. Um, and that's a combination they don't have currently, and they could. So um, yeah, I like that model more than just oh yeah, because that's the thing that sucks about WoW. It's like, oh, I'm grinding all this gear and it's going to be obsolete next patch. Next patch is also probably going to make it so I can get the gear easier, which that's maybe a WoW problem. I don't think every game has to have catch-up mechanics, but especially just making it obsolete, where it's like this gear is only useful to me for so long. Where in Guild Wars 2, my Zerker gear has been useful to me since I got it.
I 100% agree with you on. I'm tired of this model of just up up the numbers on everything for the next expansion. But you still need a form of progression for the expansion, which I understand why games do it. It's the easiest way of putting a form of progression into the game. I'm with you that we should be finding other ways of doing that, like making other damage types relevant.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, my hope is, yeah, things like what you said, where maybe we'll get new bosses, or like, because I think, are you with me where we're thinking that the first big raid boss is going to be like the Lich?
they've already said, like, I'm not saying that's the first big raid boss, but they
But we're
have
thinking that's
said,
going to be one.
well, we already know that's gonna be one. They've already said that the ancient like crypt city is like one of the largest raids in the world, and that the Lich King is that it rules over that place is the raid boss for that. Like we already know that's one of the largest raids in the game. Um, in terms of like the first raid, like
I guess, yeah, we don't know exactly if that's the first. We just know. I guess I thought that was probably going to be one of the earlier ones, one that we happened before we come into more conflict with the
the ancients.
yeah.
I guess it really depends on like how the progression, like because like part of that depends on like where you are in the world. Like he said, like he gave a number for like they gave a number for like how many raids. I think they gave a number. They gave a ballpark estimate of how many like how many like of those big raids there are in the game, like of that size. And he said that one is one of them. I'll have to go back and read on that stuff, read on that one, or watch the last year's 24-hour live stream. Which the new 24-hour live stream is coming up, which we didn't talk about. That's um that's starting November 6th through the
Yeah, the
7th.
charity event.
Yeah, the charity event, Extra Life Children's Hospital. They do this every year. The Extra Life does this every year, of like of a charity thing in November. A bunch of people sign up for it. For the last 4 to 5 years, Ashes of Creation as Intrepid has participated in Extra Life and done a 24-hour live stream. The very first one was Steven. Um,
He played Han.
yeah, he did.
I think he played something else, but I remember that. Yeah, he was playing Han. I think he just live streamed, and I think a few other people were also live streaming with him. But
He played game. He played one game specifically. I had it on the AOC Jeopardy, like as was one of the final
pretty sure
questions.
it was Han.
But
Here's the new
he also played. Yeah, 100%. But he also played other games. Like this is back when 2017, 2018, where Steven would hop in chat and just play games with the community all the time. He played Fortnite. He played Civilization. He would just play hop in the community in the chat and play with the game with the community. This is back when the community was smaller.
easier to do.
Yeah, way easier to do.
Well, because yeah, I mean, back like even pre Kickstarter, he was able to hop in the chat, and I don't think it would even get 100 people, and you'd do like a Q&A.
Yeah. Now if he hops in chat, he's just gonna like everybody swarms in there. Like everyone will probably swarm in there, and then after a while, it'll probably start getting a little bit toxic. About like, well, I don't know. Last time he hopped in chat, I don't know if it was last time he hopped in chat. I think last time was pretty positive. I don't know, but yeah, he used to be able to like just play games with the community. Now he's very busy. Like the game's progressed. He's a busy man. He's like every time you see him, he's like he has meetings all the time. The game's developing and progressing. He's busy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also, yeah, he's serving as senior designer right now, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
or lead designer or whatever. He's in addition to being the product owner.
Um,
Well, so I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about, which I guess I don't know how much I would play in stats, but it was related to what you're talking about, was not just defensive options for what you're fighting, but also like specialized items to counter whatever you're hunting, kind of like in Monster Hunter, where you'd use traps and stuff. Where I think Jeff had talked about where you might have to get like a certain item to do something to the ice dragon, so they're vulnerable.
they've talked about they have talked about that where like big the gigantic bigger world bosses like you'll have like and we've talked about this for like other stuff too but like build up towards that stuff like you don't defeat this raid or this raid like this dungeon this raid then um the boss of that area like try like start storm like stomp like winter will get like the ice dragon will awaken and like winter will become more
Aggressive.
Soviet more aggressive, or this giant tree ant will start stomping its way towards the node. We've talked about that kind of stuff. Like we've heard about that stuff before. We haven't seen any of it yet. But we've talked about like similar stuff like that before. Uh, but what you're talking about is a very like a Monster Hunter kind of
Like a
thing.
Monster Hunter, like
You
hunter
also
item.
see it in Witcher too. Witcher to where like you have the solves that you put on your weapon to like do additional damage towards certain monster types. Um, more preparation. Like I'm all for more preparation for like harder fights instead of just going in like you get your like so you go towards like a temple, um get your religion buff for however long the religion buff's up. You get your resting bonus buff or whatever kind of food buff you got going on. Maybe a sharpening kit. Like I like those are like the kind of like normal things you would expect from an MMO, like getting prepared for, like just getting prepared to go out and do stuff, like making sure you're at your top of your get, like
You
basically
got all
top of
your
your
buff.
game. Yeah, you got all your buffs going. And then like right before a raid boss, you like buff up as well. Like you may like your party like you'll make sure everyone's healed up. You make sure everyone's like properly buffed up before you go into a fight. I am 100% in on adding to that to where like there's more to getting ready for a boss for a raid, like more preparation involved. Make it um more
Like you need,
involved.
like I guess something I keep on thinking, but I don't know how applicable it'll be. It'd be like some kind of spear javelin weapon you might need to counter an ability that the boss does so they can't get away, or maybe it stops them from just wiping you.
We see that you see that in kind of like larger uh larger world boss fights to where like naval combat too, to where you're like loading the cannons with spears just to like shoot this giant sea dragon or this giant whale or this giant leviathan or kraken or something like that, and you stop it dead in its tracks. Um, I consider that more along the line. Like I'm all for that. Like those larger those larger like world boss fights. To where like it's more than just you going up to it and hitting it with stuff. That there's more involved. I'm 100% okay with that. But like I consider those more along like the spear that you had to prepare and throw. I consider that more raid mechanics. Like I think like if they had
Yes,
a spear,
like if there's a raid mechanic, you need a specific item to perform.
yeah. So, but like what I'm talking about is like
You're just talking about just the overall buffs and stuff that you'll need.
yes, yes and no, yeah, yeah. And don't make them like the samey. Don't make them samey because like with food buffs, you generally have like this is the best food buff, and you don't like really need any other. Like you go to cooks for this food, and this gives you the best food buff, and that's like the meta food buff. I would totally be on board for more diverse. Like increase in, the boss is weak to ice damage, so you buy this coating for your weapon. It's not just an enchantment. You buy this coating, you have this weapon that you love. This is your weapon. You spent a lot of time farming the weapon, but it doesn't do the appropriate. It doesn't do elemental damage, or it doesn't do the right kind of damage. Instead of having to do all the grind and stuff like I was talking about earlier to get another weapon, like more diverse set, you can do like smaller things to make it to where have it to where if you're going into the hot area, you have like a potion that protects you, like in Monster Hunter where you protect you from the elements, and then for a time, and then like coating for your weapon where it does specific.
It converts like maybe if your weapon, it converts like a portion of your damage to be like the vulnerable.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also like specific, so you can, if you already have a weapon that does X, like a percentage of elemental damage, you could get a specific salve or whatever, and you would put on the weapon, it would convert X damage to Y damage.
And I'm not saying we don't already get this in games. I'm just saying, there's games already do this to an extent. You have enchantments to do this kind of stuff. You have gem slots. You have all kinds of stuff that are you have solves and stuff like that. But I just don't feel like it's utilized enough in games.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance, and everyone has their own opinions on it. Where it's like, I feel like you should have some like build up to the fight, but you also don't want like classic WoW build up where it's like you fly all over the map getting all these world buffs and you have to log off for your world buff. You want it to be, I feel like you want it to be a little bit more friendlier than that.
100%. But I
But
also don't want this is the meta food. You this is the only thing cooks ever fucking make, because
yeah, it would probably by like roll, but it's like if you are a DPS, you use the omelet. If you are a tank, you eat that brat or that burger. Like, yeah, I get that, where you'd want it to be based a little bit more off the fight. Like, you might want, if you're going into the winter area, you might want like a warmer food. If you want going into a cold area, maybe you want some ice. Sorry, warm area, you might want some ice cream. Opposite, if you want the go into the cold area, you might want something warmer.
chili peppers or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, to keep you, to help with your resistances and keep you going.
I am in love with this idea. We are already past the hour mark. Like when earlier when we
We
were
were
struggling
struggling to
when
figure
we were
out what we
struggling
were
for
going to talk about.
topics, we still had the 30-minute mark. And I was like, how the fuck are we gonna fill this next 30 minutes? Then we got on the top. We got on an actual theory crafty topic, and we started we just jabbered away.
Yeah, that's easy. I could easily lead this into the other topic I want to talk about, but yeah.
Go ahead. I'm
Well, I mean, I don't know if we have time, but sometime I want to talk about kind of what we talked about with the burnout of leveling, and
Oh yeah.
and one thing I I don't know the complete ramifications of, but one thing I'd like to see is less things being locked behind level. Because part of the reason I'm not motivated to level is because I know I have to do this huge leveling hurdle to get to where you guys are and to play with you guys.
So just so everyone knows, he's talking about and this has been reported. This has been reported.
I mean, this
People.
has been in all games,
This has
though.
been an all. This has been an all game. But after so, currently in New World around level 30, you start getting a little bit of you start getting a little bit of burnout. For a lot of people, layers fulfill a little bit of burnout. Some games have it to where I don't know. Some games leveling through the process is super fucking grindy. I don't know. We could. Do you want to do this right now? Or you want to wait? Do this next time.
We could do it next time. I think I have to get some ready for something in 2.5 hours, so I probably next time would be best.
I feel like if we went down this rabbit hole, it would take another hour, and I don't want I'd be willing to do that, but I don't know if BCG wants to upload a 2-hour long video.
Yeah, of us rambling. and him not even able to put in his opinion. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah. Next time we'll talk about level scaling.
yes, that's a great topic to have.
Yeah, I mean we'll just have cosmetics and the live stream to talk about. Maybe we won't get half an hour on cosmetics like we usually do.
We won't
It's
have a
not a
live
waste.
stream.
It's a
We'll
good
just
conversation.
have cosmetics to talk about, and like next time.
Oh well, no, the
Extra life one, right?
yes, and now I have some cool juicy lures that we want to rant about, but we'll see.
Uh, so not next weekend, not next Sunday, because next Sunday is the actual live stream. The 24-hour live stream. The 14th is should be the next time we meet. Next discussion round. Just let everybody know. Hopefully BCG's back for that one. He's got a lot of stuff IRL going on. But we should hopefully, because we've already done this, two of us, it'll be like everything's already like beforehand. It was just getting everything set up, and this is just the first time it's been the two of us. Hopefully things aren't as quiet or awkward next time, and I feel like we have more. Like we'll definitely have more stuff to talk about next time, because like Stackerson's already brought up the topic he wants to talk about. We're probably gonna have cosmetics by then, and we are gonna 100% have the extra 24-hour live stream to talk about as well. So, a lot of stuff to talk about next time. Hopefully BCG's with us. What? Why?